is my homemade mower. I made it mostly out of a snapper rear engine rider. I like the design of the Yazoo mowers, but a Yazoo is too big for my yard. I have a lot of tight spaces to get into. So I chose the snapper with the 28-inch deck, and because the deck isn't mounted under the tractor anymore, I put it on these casters. And this caster system has the deck free floating. You can see that it pivots up and down here and side to side here. And when I want to remove the deck to clean it, I could just pop the belt off by hand, pull this cotter pin out, and the deck slides right off. I got a new engine because the engine that came on this snapper when I bought it was seized. The gas tank comes from the 16 horsepower Briggs & Stratton engine I bought for the tractor over here. I just had to clean it up inside and treat it with some Pour 15. On the original tractor, the shifter was up here, about where the seat used to be, so I just had to move it back and change the linkage inside. I also needed to change the linkage for the brake/clutch pedal here. The steering box is made from the differential of a wheel horse tractor. That if you watch my video on my homemade tractor, you'll know about the wheel horse parts I used on that. Also, the back wheel is one of the front wheels from the wheel horse tractor. The steering works with a bicycle chain. The rear seat I made so that it will lift up to help with storage, and it is also able to be removed without tools. Just pull these pins, slide it off one side, then back across the other. Also, the steering wheel is just held on by the cover of this case. So I could remove these 3 wing nuts and pull the steering wheel right off. So I could remove the deck, the steering wheel, and the seat without tools. And the reason I made it that way is so I can pack it up into a smaller space, especially for the winter, but I don't have a lot of extra space now that I'm filling it up with all kinds of junk. So that helps with that. This mower came with a starter on it, so I just bought a solenoid and a battery, and now everything can start actually from the seat. I could even reach to turn the gas on from the seat if I need to. Choke. So the gear system on this mower, if anyone's familiar with snappers, they'll know it's just a plate on the bottom of the pulley on the engine that rides on a wheel. So you can slide it forward and backward, and when it's on, you really don't even need to use the clutch. It feels almost like a hydrostatic, but of course it's a much simpler system. I didn't like the rectangular steering wheel that came on the Snapper, because this steering wheel, in order to make the sharp turns that I want for this mower, needs to be able to turn around 360 degrees at least. So I got this round John Deere steering wheel from eBay. The mower's not quite done yet. I still want to patch up this seat and attach it onto the seat pan. And I also have a hole drilled in the steering support back here for a grease fitting that I want to attach so I can grease the steering joint. The deck height is easily adjustable with this arm, which was original to the Snapper rear engine rider. Because I shortened these lift arms to keep it more compact, I had to add one more notch at the top of this adjustment to make sure I could get the highest height I would want. I used this original lever to engage the mower deck. Unfortunately, unlike on the original Snapper rear engine rider, where both of these were easily reached from the seat, now I have to get off the mower to engage the mower or to lift it. The lifting is not a big deal. To me, I usually change the deck height on my mowers maybe just twice a year. I usually find a height I like and keep it there all year. This lever to engage the mower is a little bit of a bigger deal. It's kind of a really big disadvantage and maybe a safety hazard to have to be off the mower to engage the mower deck. I decided to leave it that way, at least for now, because I like the simpleness of being able to take the deck off with no tools. And if I were to hook this up in a way that I could easily reach it from the seat, that would complicate how hard it would be to remove the deck. I'll see how this goes as I use the mower. I may want to change that in the future. So far the mower seems to work great on level ground, but because the driver sits back here, the weight is off the drive wheels. On hills, it can lack a little traction. I tried to compensate for that by getting these ag tires and filling them with fluid, which helped quite a bit, but I still find that I need to shift my body weight, lean up over the steering wheel to climb up the pretty steep hill I have in the front yard. I plan to post more of the build process in a future video, and the grass is starting to grow now, so I'll get some video of the mower in use. If anyone has specific questions about the build process or how certain things work, ask in the comments and I'll try to address it in the future video.